So the question is why are YouTube videos always so misleading when it comes down to the cost of living abroad? Well, let's talk about it. Hello, my loves. Kelly here, and welcome to another fabulous slice of my Mexican life. So I have seen in many of the groups where people are always asking about the cost of living in various countries, various different places, especially if they're looking at leaving the United States. Now, I can speak to you guys about living abroad because I've done so since 2016. I spent time in Nicaragua, I spent time in Thailand, and now I live in Merida, Mexico. And I can tell you from my personal experience that the cost of living really is determined by you. And that's part of the reason why a lot of the YouTube videos are misleading. So you also have to ask yourself, what does the YouTuber have in mind? What is it that they're trying to convey to you, if you will? You've got some people that want you to believe that life is dirt cheap in all these other countries. They've got $150 rent. What they're eating is, $7 a day for all their meals and the whole 9 yards. And I'm not saying that there aren't places that you can't live for that kind of money. It was that way pretty much in Thailand. You could live for really, really an affordable amount. But the problem when you're talking to or listening to those particular YouTubers, those YouTubers are often trying to live as frugally as they possibly can. So when you hear, oh, I'm paying $150 for rent, sounds really appealing when rents in the US are in the thousands at this point, depending on what city you live in, and then you haven't even put food in your mouth yet, haven't even paid your light bill, your gas bill, or what have you. But also, you have to realize that not everybody wants to live frugally. Then you have those that want you to see the really big life, and they're living in the gigantic homes with with the swimming pools and the housekeeper and the driver, and it's kind of my life. But I'm not necessarily trying to get you to move abroad and spend a ton of money, but you can see from those particular lifestyles, even then a lot of it is affordable. But if you're a person that likes to eat street food per se, your cost of living is going to be vastly different than those that want to sit down in a really nice restaurant. If you're a person that is alone with no children and don't plan on any family coming, you could very easily live in a studio, whereas those that are coming with 3 or 4 children, that's not going to be their lifestyle. Their cost of living is going to be dramatically different than what it is that you want. What many of us can provide you with are the basics, which is what you all often will get, and then you get to a place and you're like, oh, wait, hold up, this ain't quite what I thought it was going to be. We can give you a general price of what gas costs if you're going to drive, what an Uber ride across town would be the equivalent of, what fruits and vegetables will cost if you're buying them in the local markets as opposed to the grocery stores. We can kind of give you a general idea based on our home size, what our power bills are, what our water bills are, those types of things. But as far as an actual true cost of living, it's kind of difficult because, again, not only does it depend on your lifestyle, it also depends on your location. For example, I live in the city center. My rent here in this house is a lot more than it was in a home that I did a tour of that I lived in a couple of years ago that was in the suburbs, basically. So the cost of living for me, just in rent alone, doubled. So again, it all kind of depends on what it is that you're doing with your life, where you're going, what your extracurricular activities are. If you're taking day trips, or if you're a homebody like I am, again, if you're eating street food versus eating, in fine dining restaurants, if you're on the go all the time, if you're gonna have a vehicle, if you're not, if you're doing Uber. So there is a lot that really goes into a true cost of living, buying clothes, those types of things. If you're shipping stuff in from Amazon versus buying locally, there's just so much. And to really be able to give anyone an accurate cost of living, they would pretty much have to move and live the equivalent life and a lifestyle that you are living. And that, I don't think, is something that typically happens. So as a YouTuber who lives abroad, who shares my life abroad, it's not that we want to be misleading. It's just that we can't account for everything that you may want to do or that you may encounter if you decide that you are going to live abroad. So I say get your basics in order, if you will. Save for at least that much. And I would probably err on the side of a higher rent, partially not because that may be what you pay. I mean, good luck finding anything here for $150 a month, unless it's not that great. But the other part of that is because pricing changes. And I can tell you, for the 4 years that I've been in Merida, the rents have dramatically changed. And a lot of that is because people are coming in and they don't know what they should be paying, or they're like with the attitude of, well, it's less than what I was paying in the US, which is not a good attitude, by the way. Because just because it's less doesn't mean it's market value, because you still end up probably paying more than you would in the market value, in the market here, than you would if you were more informed. So, but I would say if you're planning on moving abroad, definitely make sure that you err on the side of a higher rent. Look out for deposits, those types of things. But as far as like an actual true cost of living, can't necessarily tell you that. So anyway, if you are still here and you have not subscribed, clearly you thought the information I gave you was good information. So how about you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Have a great day. Ciao.